So we're here talking about Chavra Tehilchasa, a brand new program that's available for regular laymen like me, or maybe even B'nai Torah who are learning. You know, everybody's sitting in yeshiva, steiging away, learning Gemara, but like things like Novi and Halacha, sometimes we let fall to the wayside. We figure we can ask somebody. Now they have this amazing program that you can attend shiurim, and they'll give you marmakaimis, and you get to learn Halacha with all the marmakaimis and where it starts off and how it goes. And this is a way for you to hold on to this halacha. Not necessarily that you should be paskening for your family, but at least when you go to ask the Rav, I believe you'll have more in your hand. With us is Rabbi Glatstein, one of the famed Maggid shiurim, one of the Talmidei Chachamim that is part of this amazing program. Rabbi Glatstein, shkoyach for joining me. How are you?
Good Vach, how are you? How's everything?
Good Vach. So tell me about this program. I heard it started about a year ago, correct?
Yeah, so we started about a year ago. We started it with two tracks. We have what we call Isser V'Heter, where we learn 1 year Basar B'Chalav, 1 year Taruvais, which are the classically mudim of, let's say, somebody learning for Smicha. In other words, if somebody wants to get Smicha, they typically learn Basar B'Chalav Taruvais. Now, this is not a Smicha program in terms of giving ordination, but we do give certification that reflects that a person has a strong familiarity with the subject matter. And so 1 year Basar B'Chalav, 1 year Taruvais, and then we had another track, Hilchos Shabbos, and this year we expanded it to Hilchos Shabbos, either Be'iyun or more Halach L'Maisa, and then also Hilchos Nida. And here's why this is so important.
Please tell us.
Look, the learning of Gemara has exploded in Klal Yisrael, which is beautiful. A lot of people are learning Daf Yomi, Oiraisa, Daf HaShavua, and it's very important. But truth be told, that's not the Ikar Limud. The Ikar Limud is Halacha L'Maisa. That's, well established. Chafetz Chaim writes in the intro to the Mishnah Berurah, a person's main learning has to be Halacha L'Maisa. Furthermore, even mystically, even Kabbalistically, the Arizal says the main kesher we have with the Torah is halacha l'maisa. So the Arizal even says the word halacha is oisios hakala. In other words, every yid is wed to the Torah. Every yid, Torah tzivalanu Moshe Moirasha Altigir Moirasha Moirasa. So we're engaged to her, but you gotta consummate the marriage. The way you consummate the marriage is learning halacha l'maisa. So here's another important thing.
Okay.
When it comes to learning, everybody knows life is busy, life is hectic, and in order for a person to do what they really want to do deep down, you need to have responsibility. So what this program does is that it's a commitment. You're committed to the shiur once a week, and there is accountability. There are bechinais, there is certification, there's source material, and the level, what a person's able to accomplish in learning is really commensurate with the commitment they have to it. So yes, Daf Yomi, Amud Yomi, a person's committed to learn the Daf, but they're not necessarily committed to know it. And if you ask somebody, Nu, Zagibber, say over, they say, oh yeah, I know the name of the Masechta, or I know some of the concepts. But to take responsibility, to know material, you're only going to know it if you commit yourself to know it. So, and the level of commitment of our program really allows people to take ownership over the material.
All right, so the shiur is once a week.
Shiur is once a week.
We're talking about what, like an hour?
The shiur is my shiur is an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
And even though it sounds long, but because there's such an engaged chabura, and the people many of them prepare, and people are taking notes, and people take it seriously, and we don't just do just halach l'maisa. Yes, no, maybe l'chachila b'diavad. We get the juice out of it, the alumdus of it, so the time passes fast, and people really enjoy it. People think about it during the week. They prepare, they review. There's a short quiz afterwards. And it's life altering. Even someone who has regular commitments to Gemara, this is learning to the next level, really.
Program is called Chavra Tehilchasa. So you were saying an hour and 15 minutes every week, but let's say the shiur is not in my neighborhood. Is there a way to attend remotely?
Yeah. So so good. We obviously prefer people are there live. I say Einoi Doime live to Zoom, but Zoom is a good option. You
Because
know,
Rabbi Glatstein is a famed Zoom rabbi. I mean,
no Zoom Torah
you've been giving
v'Zuz
shiurim every week in person, and everything goes up, and you're not one that shies away from technology.
No, no, no. The Torah says Yafta Likim Liyefes v'Yishkoin ba'olei Shem. You have to harness the technology of Yefes to bring it into the base medrash. But look, we prefer the live attendance, but if you're not in my neighborhood, so then the options are you could watch it live on Zoom. You could those who are part of the program have access to the shiur. Even people who come to the shiur live, they review the shiur by listening to it again. So yeah, both are options. Both options are on the table. You could attend live, or you could listen to it Zoom or afterwards recorded.
Now, Rabbi Glatstein, people that are attending the shiur, do they get like a sheet of Marmakaimus and
Yeah, so look, even more than a sheet, there's a lot of very fine tailored source material.
okay,
Everyone gets the Chavra the Hilchos Shulchan Aruch, which has on one side the Lashon Kodesh Shulchan Aruch. On the other side, you have the Mechaber Rama translated. You
oh
have main
wow,
points of the Shach and the Taz in English. That's one compendium that you receive. Another compendium is you have summaries of Mechaber Rama, Shach Taz, and some other achronim. You also have a visualization, so charts and diagrams and pictures. So you have a lot of important source material, and the main thing really is that you have a shiur, you have a Maggid shiur, you have a chabura, and you have a group of people who are really committed to mastering these areas of halacha. And this past year, Baruch Hashem was very successful. We
hmm
had about 50 people in my shiur
wow,
who started off,
hmm
and most made it through all the various, levels of accountability. We had a few actually bechinos with Gedolei HaPoskim, we had with Rav Gamriel Sinner, we had with other poskim, and here's how I like to say it. For some people, they're thinking, I could handle this. It's
right.
been a while since I took a quiz or a test or an oral bechina, but I'm game for this. I'm ready for this. I need to really elevate my level of limud Torah. But you always have people who are thinking, no, come on, I don't have a head for this anymore. I could barely get through the day, and I try to crack open a Gemara a little bit. And you have some people who say, no, 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 I don't have a head for bechinais or quizzes or oral bechinais. So,
Which we can understand.
yeah, definitely, I understand 100%. But so what I would like to say is we're able to cater to both kinds of people. If you feel you're game for this, then it's literally up your alley.
hmm
If you feel like, no, 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 I'm not taking the test, then we could cater to you. What do I mean is, it's not as hard as you think. What do we mean? Even the bechinois between me and you, they're really we're not trying to get you. We just want to make sure that people are taking it
Paying attention, so to
seriously.
speak.
They're paying attention. They know the basic concepts, even the testing. Yeah, sure. If you're gonna know all the minutia, you'll really excel. But if you're not, and but you're faithfully attending the shiur, and you're trying to review it, you're gonna make it through. You're gonna do well. It's really not daunting. In other words, the testing allows those who are fully committed to thrive, and at the same time, it just elevates the game of those who are just used to maybe coming to a shiur, sliding back, and not being fully attentive. So what the testing will do is you're gonna be much more engaged, and you're gonna see the basic concepts. You'll be able to do well even if you don't know every single Rabbi Kiva Eger, let's say. So it works for both, and we're gonna ensure that wherever you're holding in life or in learning, you will succeed in this program.
Look, I think it's important. Everybody loves, Gemara and other Mefarshim that they're steiging away with. Mishnah, Daf, Kitzur, but halacha, I mean, that's something that can come up. We're talking about things that come up in everyday life, right? I
Yeah,
see that
absolutely.
you're giving the shir on Isser V'Heter,
Yeah, yes.
and then we have Rav Simcha Bunim Londinsky Shlita is Hilchas Shabbos Advance.
Yes.
Rav Shmuel, the Bernas Shlita is giving on Hilchas Nido. We have Hilchas Shabbos Halchal Meiser of Avram Slansky Shlita and Hilchas Taruvos, Rav Daniel Glatstein Shlita as well. So a lot of topics that are negeya in an everyday life of people. A lot of people don't even think about, we're talking about work, what's overcharging, what's not overcharging, what's telling people what, so people don't think about Shulchan Aruch on an everyday business level, let alone home level, but home level is definitely
Yeah.
very important. So whether your wife is asking you if something cold fleischig fell into something hot, or whether it's just a matter of kashrus, this will probably give you a better handle on your own house as well.
Yeah, you'll know what to ask, you'll know when to ask. Some things you'll say, this is not a shaila, and some things you'll see that the way you ask is really the answer you're going to get is dependent on certain factors that you may not even be aware to present.
Mhm.
So,
But I guess that's what you're saying the shiur is doing. The shiur is giving you all the parameters. Or sometimes it's just black and white, kosher, not kosher, kosher trait. But sometimes it's how did it happen? What happened? Tell me how X fell into Y. Was Y hot? Was it cold? Was it here? Was it there?
yeah, and also it gives a person a much more profound understanding of the halachic process that in all areas of life, we're obviously just covering one topic at a time. But when
Hmm.
you see the depth of what's behind the halacha, then you realize halacha is not just, how I grew up or what I saw people in my family do.
That's true.
This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Klal Yisrael. It's part of it's Judaism. It's Yiddishkeit.
It's
It's
Parsha Balpeh. It wasn't given at Har Sinai in written form, but this is what we had to learn, and this is what the Torah enabled us to do. Yeah, most people don't really focus so much on halacha l'mais. It's true. Why is there a big Glatstein? Why aren't we more attentive to halacha l'mais nowadays, Taka, to learning Shulchan Aruch and stuff like that?
So look in yeshiva, obviously the focus is on the lamdas
Hmm.
because the yeshivas want to give number one, they want to teach talmidim the derech of learning, the process of learning, the logic of learning, and then with that they equip you to utilize that to apply to halach l'maisa. I mean, the sharper somebody's skills are in lamdas, the
Hmm.
greater their understanding of halacha will be. So the purpose of the years of yeshiva are to train you to be able to learn, but then you need to take the training and use it.
Right.
So, sometimes people get caught up so much in the training, they they don't then take it to the next level and use
And
it
you
lamaisa
apply it properly, right?
to apply
So
it.
tell me,
Yeah.
as a Maggid Shir, do you get asked a lot of shilas during the shir or afterwards?
Sure, sure, sure. People bring up questions halach lemaisa. People ask questions after. Again, the purpose of the shir is not that people know to paskin a shaila. This is
Right.
not smicha for developing rabbanim. But to get smicha in yeshiva, you have to spend at least two starim a day for a year or two to learn the material. We're talking about people who are not currently in the yeshiva, and but they never had the opportunity to learn Yeridea. They maybe even learned in Koilel, but they never learned Shulchan. They've never learned Shulchan Aruch, Shach and Taz in their entire life. There are many people like that. They could have.
There's one right here.
Yeah, I mean, they learned in
I started
yeshiva.
learning Bechavrusa Aruch HaShulchan about a year ago now, just to try to. I said, look, it's great that I can pick up Gemara and learn Daf Yomi. If I was Messiah already once, start picking up Mishnah Yomi, Kitzur Hilchah Yomi. But like sometimes I'm like, I really should know more. Halacha l'maisa, definitely.
Yeah. So, and then you have yeshivalite who, let's say, they did learn Shach and Taz, be'ion, but now they want they learned it so in depth, but they never sort of covered all the ground,
Hmm.
so in a systemized way to know, okay, Mechaber holds this and the Ramah holds this and the Shach, they've spent so much time delving into it that they don't have a comprehensive knowledge of the subject matter as one entity. So we have all kinds of people. We have Kailo people. I'll tell you, last year in our program we had a yeshiva bachar who he was a mesifta,
Hmm.
and look, this program is a serious program. Those who apply, they commit themselves even financially to be able to enter the program. This bacher raised money to be able to come to the program, And he made it through. He got this certification. I think he's going into 12th grade. Last year was
Wow.
in 11th grade. He took off a night every week of his time, and he did phenomenally. He aced all the tests, and we had people who were, Zakanim,
Hmm.
who said, let me give this a shot. I've never learned Yardei Shach and Taz. So literally, I think the gamut of age ranged about 70 years.
Wow. Seriously.
Yeah, so it was really
How was that for you as the one giving the share to have that
it's
variety of age? Because you can't just teach it to, like, 30-year-olds. You have to teach it from somebody who has a better understanding and somebody who has a lesser understanding.
it's
It's got
very
got to be
rewarding.
harder.
It's very rewarding. You want to make sure that someone who didn't prepare and doesn't have strong background is able to follow. So you want it to be clear for someone without the preparation, without the background to follow. But
Mm.
you also want it to be challenging to a seasoned Talmud Chacham that he also feels there's something to gain here. So it's
If you
very
explain it too simple, he's gonna be there like, okay, I can tune out now because it's too simple for me.
exactly, yeah.
It's very hard on you, Rabbi Glatstein.
It's very rewarding, actually, and it's interesting that so this year and the first year we just started Taruvas. That's why, and now's the perfect time for people to join
Hmm.
because it's the very beginning of Taruvas. So I like to ask people to introduce themselves in the beginning of the year. So I go around to all the people who are participating live, and I go around, then I go to the Zoom. Everyone should participate. So, this guy says, my shul is in Cedarhurst. The share takes place live in Cedarhurst. So I
Hmm.
had people there from Cedarhurst, from Woodmere, from Lawrence, from Brooklyn even. And I'm asking the live people, where do you come from? I come from Cedarhurst. I come from Hewlett. I come from Lawrence. I come from Flatbush. I come from Borough Park. And then on the Zoom, Lakewood, Toms River, Muncie, Staten Island. So I'm thinking, okay, this is all tri-state area. Then I have a
Right.
guy, London. London, I mean, the share is 8 o'clock. What? So,
So
so
around two, three
this
in the morning there. Yeah.
yeah, it was well last week they didn't change the clock yet, so it was
Right.
like 12. It was 12, right?
Oh,
But still, it's late. So I think okay, London. Then a guy tells me Argentina,
wow.
and then I see the last guy in the bottom corner of the Zoom. He's driving while he's listening to the share, and I'm looking. He had a he. It was light outside. So
Australia.
where are you? He was in China. He was in China. So it's really Imamish. It spans the globe.
So we're talking about is not another share. We're talking about something that has weekly chaburas to challenge and inspire, clear ma'amakomis, and a guide from learning that stick, and a built-in accountability with testing, like Rabbi Glatstein said. You can sign up online, chavra.net, or you can call 347-459-7352. Or if you so want, you can send an email, admin@chavra.net. Rabbi Glatstein, I'm sure you're already preparing for a share. I know how your day is so filled with shiurim and giving over knowledge. I just want to thank you for your time. And I don't know, you might have convinced me to see if I can even attempt this. And I'm very skeptical about tests.
Okay, look, keep up the good work, Rabbi Yossi, and it was a pleasure speaking with you as always.
You too. Atzlacha rabba. Good luck.
Amen. Good luck.